Bitcoin is pumping back above the $64,000 and this is where it all starts for Bitcoin. This could be a very interesting week and I will tell you everything about it in this video. There are a lot of interesting formations for Bitcoin unfolding, which I will discuss with you in this video. I will also have a look at the two altcoins Cardano and Solana because they are also showing a lot of interesting price action. Furthermore, there's a lot of interesting data coming into the market, which I will discuss with you as well. So watch this video all the way to the end, like the video, and let's dive right into the charts. In the beginning of the weekend I said that Bitcoin will be trading around the CME gap of $62,993 and that we won't see a lot of volatility during the weekend. And I was also thinking that Bitcoin will close the gap shortly after the weekend was over. And this is exactly what we saw. So Bitcoin didn't show a lot of volatility during the weekend, and shortly after the weekend we saw a beautiful close of the CME gap. We saw a little bit of a decline and then we saw a big bump to the top side and we reached the $64,500. So this is insane of course, and this is a very good start of the week because we are seeing a huge pump. And last week I was also talking about this beautiful formation for Bitcoin. We saw on the 1 hour time frame this huge resistance area was getting broken to the top side. And I was thinking that we could probably retest it as support and then from there we could aim for higher targets. And if we then have a look on the chart, this is exactly what we did. And we got a little bit of a front run because I was having some orders here at this huge horizontal level. But we got a little bit of a front run and we didn't retest it as support yet. So we saw a pump earlier, but this is exactly the same route I was telling you about for Bitcoin. So this is looking very bullish, and now the top side of this resistance area was getting hit, and this was also the breakout target of this huge falling resistance area. And Bitcoin is now back at this huge horizontal resistance, so this is also a very interesting point for Bitcoin to break, and let's see if we can break it in the coming days. On Friday, the Bitcoin ETF saw a huge inflow because we saw an inflow of $253.6 million. So this is insane, of course. So the Bitcoin ETFs only bought for more than 4,000 Bitcoin on Friday. So this is insane, of course. And only 450 Bitcoin were mined. So this is going to have a lot of interesting price action in the future. And if we then have a look on the total balance of Bitcoin on exchanges, it is dropping like crazy. And also this means that the supply shock is imminent in the coming months. And this is exactly the halving effect because a lot of Bitcoin on exchanges is decreasing, but the amount of Bitcoin being mined is also getting less and less. So this is causing a supply shock in the coming months. And if we then have a look on the daily time frame, we can see this beautiful formation for Bitcoin was unfolding. We saw a huge downtrend and now we're switching to an uptrend. And last week we held this huge support on the lower side, so this was looking very bullish. At first everyone thought that we're going to break below this huge support area, but Bitcoin wicked up and now we're seeing a beautiful bounce from this support area to separate the price from this low horizontal level. So let's see if Bitcoin can now break to the top side, create a new higher high and higher low, and then just continue the bullish uptrend to the top side, and that of course will bring us to the new highs. So first we need to gain this previous high in order to become a little bit more bullish. And after that we are coming back to these huge horizontal resistance areas. So for now we want to break this previous high, and that will be around the $66,000. So let's see if Bitcoin can come back to around these prices in this week. Yesterday I was talking about this W pattern for Bitcoin on the 12-hour time frame. We can see this important resistance was coming into play and we're seeing some sort of a W pattern. And I said that if we're going to break this horizontal level, the $66,000 will be next. And if we have a look at the chart, we can see a beautiful pump now above this huge resistance area. So this is looking very bullish and we are now seeing a bullish break to the top side. So we need to see a close of this candle, and then we can confirm the breakout, and we could potentially also see a little bit of a retest to test this previous resistance as support, and from there we can aim for high targets. And if Bitcoin is going to confirm the breakout and going to make a retest of this formation, then I'm very interested in buying into the market, and then from here I will long the market for Bitcoin and aim for higher targets. But for now we are at the $64,000, and I think that we will see a pump to the $66,000 this week. And if we have a look at the Bitcoin monthly returns, we can see that Q4 and October are now turning green. So this is beautiful to see. And let's see if we can continue the bullish trend. And of course everyone talks about this, that Q4 is always the most bullish quarter of the year. And of course when September was turning green, we saw some 3 consecutive months in the end of the year. So let's see if this year will be the same. and now we are turning green, and I think these last 2 weeks of October will be very bullish for Bitcoin. And if we then have another look on the daily chart with these horizontal resistance and support areas, we can see that Bitcoin is coming to this next big resistance on the daily time frame, and this will be around the $64,000. And last week we saw a big rejection from this level, so let's see if we can now see another try to break this level to the top side. And then if we're going to see a break to the top side, the $66,000 is next, as I was saying. But there's also a bear scenario that could play out, and that means that we're going back to this lower side support, and that will be around the $60,500. But for now, I think we will break this level because we touched this level a lot of times, and every time we touch a certain level, it becomes a little bit weaker because there will be less liquidity. So I think Bitcoin will break to this level, retest this resistance as support, and then aim for higher targets, and that will be around the $66,000. And the first interesting altcoin I want to have a look at is Cardano. We can see Cardano is in this huge falling wedge formation to the downside with multiple top trends on the top side as resistance and also on the lower side as support. And we can also see this huge trendline resistance was unfolding inside of this falling wedge formation, which we broke to the top side a couple weeks ago. And we saw a beautiful pump to the top side, but then a rejection of the top side resistance of the big falling wedge. We retested previous resistance as support, and now we can see multiple touches. So you had 2 chances already to enter the market for Cardano in the long at this bullish retest. So let's see if Cardano can pump to the top side, come back to this huge top side resistance of this falling wedge formation, and eventually we want to see a break to the top side, a retest of this falling wedge formation. And if we're going to see this bullish retest, you could also potentially enter the market for Cardano in the long. And the top side of this formation will be the breakout target, and that will be around the 52 cents. So this could be a very interesting trade for Cardano to make. And for instance, let's say if we can see a bullish retest around this level, you could potentially make a 37% increase. So that's an insane trade, of course, to make. So let's see if we can see a beautiful breakout of this huge falling wedge formation for Cardano in this week. And the next interesting altcoin I want to have a look at is Solana. We can see Solana is creating this huge horizontal resistance and support area, which is now flipped into support. And we can see a lot of price interaction in the past as support and resistance again. And every time we touch this level, we saw a beautiful bounce to the top side. And now we're seeing also a little bit of a price compression for Solana unfolding because this price is getting squeezed into this apex. So eventually we will see a huge breakout, and this could happen, of course, this week. So if Solana wants to become a little bit more bullish, we need to gain this first big previous resistance to the top side on the daily time frame, and then we can retest it as support and then aim for higher targets. So these are the interesting levels for Solana to look at, and that will be around the $160. But of course, we could also see a retracement back to this huge support area, retest it as support, and then see a bounce from this level. And if we then have a lower look at the bear scenario, we could potentially see a breakthrough this level, and then a retest of the previous support to test it as resistance. And from here, I'm much interested in a short trade for Solana, and then we can aim for lower targets. But of course, we want to see a bullish scenario play out, and that we're eventually going to break out of this price squeeze, create a higher high on the daily time frame, a higher low, and from there we can continue the bullish uptrend. And let me know in the comments if you still hold Solana in your portfolio and what your thoughts about Solana in the future are. So please give a like if you find the video useful. Don't forget to follow me on my other socials, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.